Search warrants carried out at the Lorain County Administration Building and the county's 911 center. The sheriff's public corruption unit was on the scene. 19 Investigates Mike Mason just got an update. He joins us live now with what he knows. What was this search about, Mike?
Well, during the press conference, they told us that it was about contracts and fraud, and it's mainly surrounding the 911 dispatch center. Sheriff Jack Hall is not telling us exactly who the target of the criminal investigation is, but I can tell you that about 6 weeks ago, a dispatcher was indicted for running unauthorized personal searches in the system, and we're told it's connected to that person in part, but investigators are also looking into more than just that. They say it involves more than one person or one company. I asked if it had to do with the consulting company that commissioners hired to run the dispatch center, and they confirmed that it was. Now let's listen into what they had to say during the press conference.
Types of information we are seeking pertain to a variety of different contracts that pertain to the county and the county 911 center. Don't want to get into specific individuals or specific companies, but we have reason to believe that there's been fraud committed related to some contracts related to the 911 center.
When you could have multiple targets of investigation, when you have a lot of paperwork, when you have a lot of data to go through, it'll take time to do that. A lot of times a search warrant is your best opportunity to make sure that you get all the information that you need. And again, this is nothing political. This is simply police work, and we have to make sure that we follow all of the leads of where the case takes us.
And once again, the public corruption unit here at the Lorain County Sheriff's office serving search warrants at 2 county buildings, the administration building and the 911 dispatch center. We are not told who the target is for the criminal investigation, but as soon as we get more information, we'll of course let you know. Reporting live in Lorain County, Mike Mason, 19 News.